Here's how to graph a line when it's written in slope-intercept form. Recall that slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope, and the slope is a number that describes how slanted a line is. And b is the y-intercept, and that tells us where the line crosses the y-axis. So let's take a look at a couple of examples of how to graph these lines. Our first example is the line y equals 4x plus 2. First thing I'd like to do is identify the slope. In this case, my slope is 4. Remember, m is going to be the number that comes right in front of x. But in order to use that slope, in order for that slope to tell me how I'm going to move, I need to write it as a fraction. So I can write 4 as 4 over 1. I can also write it as negative 4 over negative 1, because a negative divided by a negative gives me a positive. Going back to 4 over 1, 4 on top tells me I need to move up 4, and a 1 on the bottom tells me I need to move right 1. For negative 4 over negative 1, the negative 4 on the top tells me I need to move down 4, and a negative 1 on the bottom tells me I need to move left 1. Remember, your m is your slope. It's the number that comes right before x, and it tells you how you're going to move on the graph. Second number I need to identify is my y-intercept, which is my b. In this case, b is 2. And b tells me where I'm going to begin on the y-axis. So I'm actually going to start there by graphing 2 on the y-axis. So I put a nice dot at 2 on the y-axis. Remember, the y-axis is the one that goes up and down, and the x goes left and right. So from my y-intercept, I'm going to use my first slope, and I'm going to move up 4 and right 1 and put a dot. Now I'm going to use my second description of the slope, down 4 and left 1, and from my y-intercept I'm going to move down 4 and left 1. Actually, if you want, you can keep going down 4 and left 1, or up 4 and right 1 until you run out of the graph. Now we'll connect the dots with a nice straight line and put arrows on the end, and that's our graph of y equals 4x plus 2. Let's try another example. Here's the equation of the line y equals negative 2/3 x minus 1. So my slope is a negative 2/3, but I need to take that negative sign and put it first on my numerator and secondly on my denominator. So a negative 2/3 with a negative out front is the same as a negative 2 over 3 and a 2 over a negative 3. So let's write out how my slope is going to tell me to move. A negative 2 on top means down 2, and a positive 3 on the bottom means right 3. A positive 2 on the top means up 2, and a negative 3 on the bottom, means left 3. So those are two ways that I'm going to move. And where do I begin? In this case, my b, or my y-intercept, is negative 1. So I'll go over to my graph, and I will graph negative 1 on the y-axis, which is right there. Now I'll use my slope to move. First I'll go down 2 and right 3 and make a dot. And if I wanted to, I could keep going down 2 and right 3. Down 2 and right 3. Oops, that one takes me off the graph. Go back to your y-intercept and let's use our other description of the slope and go up 2 and left 3. Make a dot. Up 2, left 3, up 2, left 3. Actually, I'm okay if you just do the y-intercept and then 1 point on each side. Now we connect the dots, put arrows on the end, and that's the graph of the line y equals negative 2/3 x minus 1. And let's take a look at one more example. Here's the line y equals 3/4 x minus 2. My slope is 3/4, which can also be written as negative 3 over negative 4. Use those numbers in the slope to describe how you're going to move. Up 3 and right 4, or down 3 and left 4. Oops, forgot my 4. And then identify your beginning point. My y-intercept in this case is negative 2. So let's graph negative 2 on the y-axis. And from there I'll move up 3 and right 4 and make a dot. Going back to my y-intercept at negative 2, I'll go down 3 and left 4, make a dot, connect the lines, or connect the dots to make your line, and that is the graph of y equals 3/4 x minus 2.